Betts and so does Dozier. It's two guys, and there's your splash. You go over the cap big time there. That you're bringing in like 14 million, 15 million bucks there. You'd be only moving out, unless you move out Nunez there back to replace it, which I don't think you even would. You just keep him there as a depth guy. But it makes sense. Have you guys seen any of these notes that yesterday the Padres are trying to get Chris Archer? Did you guys see that?
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I guess they're trying to set, because with the Mejia move, like trading Brad Hand away, I mean, they're setting themselves up for success, possibly even next year. I mean, if Mejia and Tatis pan out,
who's done for the year this year, which sucks.
Yeah, I know. My mom texted me. She texted me. She was like, "We went to go to the Missions game tonight, and your boy's not playing." I was like,
"Boy,
that's weird."
Thumb surgery, which sucks. But I was texting Chris Saunders yesterday about because we were talking about Tatis going out or 2 days ago, whenever it was, and I said, Archer makes sense going back there. They have all these extra prospects that not every single one's going to pan out, and their top 2 are off limits. And they have other pitching prospects coming up. I think Drew Pomeranz goes back to San Diego this offseason with a couple-year deal. I don't know if you guys have thought about where he's going to end up, but I think he goes right back to San Diego.
Makes sense.
Just want him out.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think he would do well there again too. No pressure. They know how to work him. They saw what happens when you put him on a team and make him try and throw 200 innings, 200 plus innings. So
in a familiar setting.
Yeah, familiar setting. If they get Archer as well, he doesn't have to be their number 1 or number 2 anymore. He can be number 3 or 4.
I'm telling you though, Archer, I just have no confidence in him really becoming the actual ace that everybody thinks he is. He's not consistent enough. I don't think he handles pressure very well, and he's not the first Tampa guy to end up in San Diego. James Shields did, and he pitched okay, but I mean he wasn't like killing it while he was there, and I think that would be great because I think that's a very shady organization with AJ Preller, and I think he deserves all the bad karma he gets, but yeah, and the move makes sense, and whether he gets there or not, I mean, I would not be shocked at all if they are the 2019 version of the Braves or the Phillies, really, because so many of these teams seem to be getting there a year or two ahead of schedule, and nobody thought last year that the Yankees were going to be one game away from the World Series. I mean, even when they were playing well in May and June, I'm like, that's not going to happen, and. Yeah. It's crazy, and I think the Diamondbacks are gonna fall back here eventually. They got a weak farm. They're not really a big market team, so they're not gonna have. They'll never flirt with a luxury tax or anything. And Colorado is just kind of weird. I mean, they just got that reliever from Toronto. Like, why don't they want a starter? Like a really good proven starter, because they never do that. It's always the bullpen and they have a great lineup too, which makes the starting pitching thing more frustrating. So I don't know that they're going to be super competitive next year. I don't think the Giants are going to be competitive again in our lifetime, with that front office anyway. So I think they're going to contend next year, and even if it's not because they got Archer or whatever, I just think they're gonna make some moves, and they like to wheel and deal. So maybe it comes via a trade with someone else or whatever. It doesn't.
Yeah, we were talking to them about Kirby Yates. I think there was a report, and that would be another good deal. 2 more years of arbitration on him, cheap deal. Pitching really well this year, and I don't think San Diego contends next year like the Phillies, Atlanta, and Yankees of last year. But I think they're better, and I think not next year. The year after that is when Tatis will have a whole full year there. And, you'll have guys like that where you'll have a Tatis, you'll have Will Myers, you'll have Hosmer, you'll have Mejia. How do you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Mejia.
Yeah. Mejia, all right. So, I had it right. Look at that. Shocking. So, you think of those 4 guys right there, Mejia, Tatis, Hosmer, and Will Myers. I mean, that's a solid infield, right? I mean, not solid infield. That's solid half of your lineup. Yeah. And then, get Archer. You got Archer. Maybe you bring back somebody. Carter Capps is hurt. That guy cheats, by the way.
He's the guy with the weird delivery, right?
It's the guy that jumps.
Yeah.
Leaves them out.
Yeah.
The double jumper.
Yep. And I don't know how that's not a balk either. I don't get angry with that. And that's karma that he keeps getting hurt, by the way.
Yeah. What type of injury? Like, is it a knee injury on that leg?
It was right? Austin, do you remember?
I think he had Tommy John though recently.
I knew he had Tommy John. I don't know if it was another issue with that. I don't know if it was a leg issue because of the jumping. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll try and figure that out.
Oh, and who did I text? I got my Periscope up. I sent someone a screenshot of Brad Ziegler's last.
It was me.
It was, me too. It was really good.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Another report saying he might go back, and we were saying, with another person, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be us, but I would love it. I love those submariners. I think it'd be so great if we could get someone or O'Day. Although, or is he injured actually?
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah,
I just got really sad.
Yeah, so he's could have been another target, but just someone to really disrupt, a team for an inning or so.
Park had Tommy John like 2 years ago, and then he had a thoracic outlet surgery over this offseason.
What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
Thoracic outlet?
Yeah.
That's the thing that Thornberg just had. It's a shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the second worst thing you could have other than Tommy John.
That's like it goes Tommy John than that basically in your arm. It explodes more or less.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm thinking of, which is that one. But yeah, so that's that. So for anyone's wondering, it's a disorder that occurs when blood vessels or nerves in the space between your collarbone and your first rib are compressed. This can cause pain in your shoulders and neck and numbness in your fingers.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty intense. Yeah,
hard to pitch like that.
Yeah. Matt Harvey went through that, and it seems to become more common, year after year. But all right.
Real quick before we recap, which Mets pitcher gets dealt first? Which Mets starter, if any of them?
I think it has to be DeGrom. I don't know why anybody.
I think it'd be a Lester. I think it'd be a Wheeler.
I think it'd be Wheeler. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's true.
The organization a shit show.
But he hasn't really. I don't know. I mean, his ERA's in the 4s or 5s right now, isn't it?
Yeah, so is Eovaldi.
Yeah. I just don't. He hasn't really panned out. I feel like so. I would be disappointed if we made that move. I would like Matz if you want one of their lower end guys.
Yeah, I love Matz. That would be all. That
would be the guy I would want if I couldn't have one of their top end guys. But let's just go ahead and do the matchups here before we wrap. It's a 4-game set, and actually. Yeah, 4 games. So it looked like 5 for a second. I'm like, what? So Gibson against Johnson tomorrow. Kind of interesting that Johnson is still in the rotation given today's trade and the fact Pomeranz is back. But he's been pitching well, and I feel like as long as a lineup hasn't seen him yet, he can kind of get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a bullpen day tomorrow. You're gonna see him. You're gonna see Velasquez because I haven't seen Velasquez more than one inning in a while. So you'll see him use his arm as well as BJ, and then he'll get hopefully you see Kelly in there in a mop-up situation, right? So I think it's a good matchup. Eovaldi is starting this week, I heard, against the Twins.
Minnesota on Sunday, right?
Yeah, he's got the final game.
Is Sale in there too?
Yeah, he goes Friday against Lance Lynn.
Yeah.
And Lynn pitched fairly well against us for like 4 or 5 innings, and then I want to say he fell apart or something. And he's not having a good year, much like many of the guys who signed so late in spring training. So, that's unfortunate for him. His last 3 starts, though, his ERA is under 4. He's 2-1. So maybe, I don't know. We might be catching him at the right time. And this team has seen a lot of Chris Sale, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a game where he gives up a few runs.
Yeah, he struggles with the central.
Yeah, I don't expect 3 or a sweep here. I think 2 is fine. I think a split of the series is fine, and I think it would have been even more fine for the fan base and for media if we crushed Orioles tonight. took 2 out of 3, then took 2 from Minnesota with Eovaldi coming here and Brian Johnson to start, I think we all would have been like, whatever. Like, nothing too much of a concern there.
Yeah, and I hopefully we go 3 out of 4, but Saturday, Odorizzi and Porcello. Odorizzi actually is pitching fairly well his last few starts. So
the last time we played him, he's pitched better.
Yeah, and his ERA is now in the low 4s. So, but he's up against Porcello, and I mean, who knows what we're gonna get out of him? He's up, he's down.
I got a bad feeling about that one.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's just one of those games that I look at and I'm kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah. His ERA is pretty high from that Toronto game, but his last 3 rather.
Still it's under 4 now.
Yeah, his last start got him under 4. I was just looking at his last 3 starts though, which is a 6.60. But
I'm looking at his 10 starts, and if you took that Toronto game out, he's been really good.
Yeah, he'd probably be at least a 3.6 or something.
Probably. I mean, his numbers are 2, 2, 2, 4, 0, 4, 2, 3, 0. Taking out that 8 game.
Yeah.
So I mean, around the 3.5 probably.
It would be encouraging because, I mean, we hash out playoff scenarios all the time, and I'm sure we're going to, for the last couple of months here. But, I mean, there's no scenario where Porcello isn't in our top 3, regardless of how he's pitching. I mean, he's the only righty we have. So we need him to pitch well.
Oh, yeah. I think he's pitching better this year, and I truly think he's been the second best pitcher on the whole year. I really do. I think you take that, that start away from him in Toronto, and every single player in the Major League has one blow-up start like that. And he's out of 3.5, 3.4, 3.6 ERA, which is, I mean, if we went into the start of the season and I said, hey, Rick's going to finish with a 3.5 ERA on the dot this year, I think we'd be jumping through hoops for it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a legitimate 2-3 starter in this league, like on any team, is like a 3.5. Like, he's a legitimate number 3 and a number 2 on some teams with that ERA.
Especially with the way the balls are flying off the bat now.
Yeah, especially with launch angles and all that fun
and
stuff.
He doesn't give up many home runs, so.
No, he doesn't, and he's had better control this year as well, and he struck out. It's weird. He either strikes out 9 or 5 in almost every single start.
Right.
It's really odd. His last 10 starts have been 9 or 5, 2 and 6. So even the Baltimore side, he had 6, almost 5. Like he's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. Just hopefully he gets consistent. So Sunday, Nathan Eovaldi, who gave up 8 runs versus them in his start before last, I think.
He got blown by them.
Yeah, so interesting that they didn't just try to put Pomeranz in there to. But I'm looking at the Monday game, and it's Aaron Nola from the Phillies that we're facing. So,
oh boy,
that's going to be a tough start. Yeah,
that one's.
Maybe that's the Pomeranz start then, or maybe that'll be Price. I don't know. That could be.
I hope it's.
It could be David Price, yeah. But they've lined him up for the game against the Yankees, so yeah, so I don't know. And that's a 4-game set, so I don't know where he falls.
So what do we think?
I think
how many?
2 out of 4.
3 out of 4. I talked you into it.
At best, 3 out of 4. I don't think it's more than a split though.
Yeah, I think they take 3 out of 4. I think they lose Saturday.
I'd be ecstatic if with Brian Johnson and Eovaldi first time, if they can get away with 3 out of 4, that'd be huge.
This is a big series. Like,
this
I
is a
don't
big
think people realize that.
I'll just say 3 out of 4, but it could be a split. They thumped us last time too, in their park though. So who knows what it'll end up being, but
Bogey loves playing Minnesota though.
Yeah,
he does. Great hitter against them.
That's probably where he'll be playing in a few years. No, I'm just kidding. I could see them looking at that stat and then competing with us, for him, but they'll probably drive the price up on us. Whatever. Yeah, well, all right. I guess we can wrap on that. Good show. Hopefully we continue to win. Yankees continue to lose. and we will reconvene.